Welcome back to an open topics video. It's episode 12. Yeah, I haven't done this since like last summer because I didn't have much to talk about. Now I do. One thing I bigly want to talk about in this video is about DC's direction for Nightwing and Green Arrow. Let's start with basically these two runs so far. Both these runs started in 2016, though Green Arrow just recently ended his run mysteriously at the 50 issues for some explained reason. No idea why, but we'll get to Green Arrow soon. Nightwing was brought back in 2016 and had been gone for 3 years, thanks to the events of Forever Evil. Of course, replaced with Grayson, and of course came back with Nightwing. Had Tim Seeley basically started off as the writer of the book and did a fantastic job with this damn book. And then for some reason, after like 34 issues, he left. I have no idea why he left. Him and Humphreys, for some strange reason, and this by far has never been explained by either. No, DC has never come out exactly tell anybody why this happened, or why Sam Humphreys and Tim Seeley swapped books, where Sam Humphreys went over to Nightwing and Tim Seeley went over to Green Lanterns. Tim Seeley managed to stay on for about 2 story arcs after Sam Humphreys wrapped up his run in the book, and then he left, and then he got replaced with Dan Jurgens, who did the last 9 issues, at least last 8 issues of the series, before it was relaunched simply as Green Lantern with Grant Morrison in the title. But the title itself was actually really good at Tim Seeley. Didn't have a problem with it at all. In the case of Humphreys, now, throughout Tim Seeley's run, we had these great supporting cast of former villains who work alongside Nightwing. And then for some reason, no idea why, when Humphreys took over the book, he had the entire supporting cast, except for one person, all disappear without any explanation of why this was. Yes, as far as I know, Humphreys himself, I have never heard any articles saying of why he dropped the supporting cast in the book. He just did. He kept one person, Detective Sabaody. That's it. That's the only person they kept. And she's still there in the book. As for why they dropped the supporting cast, I have no idea. It's one of the most dumbest things they've done with Nightwing in recent memory. When Humphreys took over the book, we had the Untouchable Stork, which was a pretty interesting idea of like this former judge who's actually corrupt and doing strange things. Apparently he's also blind and hired like the League of Limousine Assassins. It's almost like Humphreys had no idea what he was doing when it came to this book, but it was an interesting run nonetheless. And then he left after only doing 7 issues. Why he left? No idea. The book just abruptly changed creative teams after he'd been in the book for 7 issues and replaced with Colin Kelly of all people. Yeah, the book went through 3 different writers before we finally got to Ben Percy. He took the book with issue 45, left with issue, and then his last issue was issue 50. Yes, Ben Percy took on the book for some strange reason. Now, good choice, and what did he do throughout his run? Well, he had Nightwing fight a group of holographic villains. For no reason. This almost kind of felt like his original issues that he did for Green Arrow. But issues that were bizarre, that really didn't fit the character. At least it wasn't as bad as turning the character into a werewolf. That was stupid. Yeah, I think a lot of people pointed to Ben Percy. It's really stupid. Luckily, after his Rebirth book was really good. We'll talk about Green Arrow in a minute. But man, what the heck was this? Then, like, right after issue 50 came out, like, oh, we got a new creative team for some reason, replaced with Scott Lobdell and Fabian Caesar. 2 really good writers. I have no problem with them as writers. They actually do an okay job with the book. They took over issue 51. No idea why that we had to have a new creative team for. And the new direction is that Nightwing got shot in the head, survived, and got partial amnesia. And called himself Rick Grayson now instead of Dick Grayson. And he also stopped wearing his Nightwing costume for some strange reason. And also for some strange reason, there's a team with Nightwings in the book. Why? No idea why. I have no idea why Lobdell thought this was a good idea to do. And then Lobdell pretty much been in the book for about 10 issues, and now he's being replaced with Dan Jurgens. Okay, I have no problem with Dan Jurgens. I think he's a great character. I think he's a great writer. I'm happy the fact when DC decided to bring him back for Action Comics in 2016, he had a really damn good run in the book. And of course, book's doing okay under Brian Michael Bendis, but it's not as good as what Dan Jurgens was up to. But I'm thinking Dan Jurgens on Nightwing. I did not expect him to do that. I'm like, if I were the editor of this book and I want to replace Ben Percy on this book, who would I choose? How about Chuck Dixon? Why not Chuck Dixon? Oh, I don't know. Maybe there's some bad blood between him and DC. Because the most recent thing he did for DC was Bane Conquest. And that was the first book he did for DC in about 10 years. Yeah, the last book he did was a brief run on Robin, and he also had a brief run on Batman and the Outsiders. That was basically it. Those were the last 2 books he had on DC. The reason why his second run ended on Robin because he got fired. Yes. As for why he can't bring back Nightwing, bring back Chuck Dixon on Nightwing, I have no idea. It's almost dumbest things. What do DC have against putting Chuck Dixon on Nightwing? I don't know why, and I have no idea where the heck direction this book is going. I'm still reading it because I love the character. He's my 3rd favorite character. But why in the world we have to have him, like, the first issue, like, here's the thing. The first issue that came out right after Humphreys abruptly ended his run, we have Colin Kelly in the book. A guy who writes forgettable stories. I have no idea why DC basically put him in this book for. I have no problem on Gotham City Garage. It's an okay series. It's okay for that one, but not on a regular mainstream book because the guy writes very forgettable stories, or at least he has no purpose to them at all. And I will get to his first issue he did for Green Arrow. In the case of his first issue he did for Nightwing, it felt like something out of the Raid. As for why he was now in the issue, we have Nightwing going to rescue Damian for some reason from this base of villains. As for when the heck this happened, the book never explains. It just, we have Nightwing abruptly in some other place that's not Bloodhaven and without his supporting cast for some reason. And people refer to it as ripoff of the Raid. Look, this is not Nightwing. Nightwing basically is not a spy anymore. Don't treat him like a damn spy. And then, we get him back to Bloodhaven, and he doesn't do much of anything. Except get shot in the head. So I have no idea what the heck DC going on with this book. And in the case of all books, Green Arrow had a fantastic run of Ben Percy during the rebirth era for the first 40 issues of this book. It was fantastic. I loved it. And then Ben Percy left. No idea why he left. I did not hear any articles of why he left. There's nothing been released by DC Comics stating of why he left. He just abruptly left. We have Colin Kelly come on the book for a couple issues to do a follow-up to an annual for Deathstroke I completely forgot even existed. Yeah, the second annual for the previous volume for the book, because I'm sure a lot of people thought there was only one annual published. I thought that too. And then I found out, there was another annual. There was a second one. Also done by Colin Kelly, which is simply put, now in that story, apparently Deathstroke decided to overthrow some dictator, and the country that the dictator ran is a complete mess. We have Green Arrow there for some reason. Somehow he's gotten back control of Queen Industries. Yeah, it's not thoroughly explained of why. It's just that, and also, there is Black Canary is nowhere to be seen at all. And then, right after this two-parter, we have a standalone issue by Marguerite Scott, of all people, which is the current writer of Batgirl. An odd issue, he breaks into a prison and has a fight with a parasite for some reason. I have no idea why. And then we have a good creative team, the Bensons. And I love what they're doing in the book, because it was fantastic. And then the run abruptly ended after doing 4 issues. They came at issue 44, and then for some reason they were dropped for the book after issue 47. Now, I was curious though of why they put Colin Kelly back in the book after he had just done a couple issues and left, and I did not know what the reason was until I found an article online yesterday saying that the run ended because that's not where DC wanted to take the character Green Arrow. Why? No idea why. The book itself did release an annual as a tie-in to the events of No Justice, which is a really good annual. And then, of course, like Raph, that we do something. I'm not sure what the heck the book is trying to do. Colin Kelly was at least trying. It was a little better than what he did before in the book. He was at least trying to write a decent Green Arrow book. And then, for some strange reason, we had the book end. No idea why. As far as I know, it was not announced since the lists that when this month's lists came out, for when March list was released back in December. I saw nothing about this at all. Like, nothing in this list that said this was going to be the final issue. Nothing. And I found an article on comic.com that says, oh yeah, we're going to relaunch Green Arrow and reset him. Why? No idea why. It's one of the most dumbest things. It's kind of like DC does not want Green Arrow to get better. Let's just put out a bunch of forgettable stories and do nothing with this character. But Nightwing has an okay direction right now. I kind of wish we had the same flavor we had when Tim Seeley was in the book. At least Humphrey was trying. Yeah, at least he was trying to try and keep the same flavor. Despite the fact he dropped a supporting cast for no reason whatsoever. Yes. Now, I do have to ask, what direction does DC want to take Green Arrow? Seriously. Why? And apparently this was done by Dan DiDio himself, basically to remove Colin Kelly in the book, off the book, and end the book at the 50 issues. Was the book not selling too well? Was that the reason why he ended the book? I'm sure when Ben Percy was in the book, basically, when Ben Percy was in the book, it was one of my favorite DC books published in the past few years. And then for some strange reason, like, I kind of wish DC would properly explain why these writers keep leaving these books. Yes, at least that books like Flash, Batman, at least these two books manage to keep the same writers on them, and it's not unexpectedly removed. Yes. So, I'm sure a lot of people probably, I'm sure my friend too, might do response videos to this of what the heck is going on with Green Arrow and Nightwing. I like answering that question too. What is DC trying to do with these two characters? I mean, do they think they're B-list characters? I mean, yes, I know for a fact that the Arrow show is ending. Yes, I will do a separate thoughts video on that one. But that's not a reason to end the damn comic book. Yeah, that's not a reason. Green Arrow's generally had the comic book published most of the time since the late 80s. Yes. He's generally had a comic book. I think like the only time I can think of he didn't have a comic published, like there was no Green Arrow published, was between the end of Chuck Dixon's run and Kevin Smith's run back in 2000. I think like there was a brief like 3-year gap where there was like no Green Arrow book at all. The book ended in 1998 and brought back in 2001. But generally, the book is Green Arrow's generally had a solo title. There's no reason why he cannot have a solo title at all. Yeah, there's no reason for it at all. Oh, and here's kind of the strange thing. I read the final issue of the run. And he apparently is giving up being Green Arrow. Oliver Queen gives him Green Arrow because he has a box, well, had a box anyways, that Martian Manhunter gave him back in the events of No Justice. As for why he was trusted of all people to take care of this box, never explained. Yeah, he was given this, not, and of course this book was not written by Scott Snyder. There was this given the events of No Justice? I believe so, yes. Now, I'm sure Scott Snyder was hoping that the writers of Green Arrow might do a minor follow-up to this, to do something with it. But here's the thing. Nothing was done with this plot point at all. I mean, I kind of forgot this box even existed, because the book barely brought up this box at all. Oh yeah, and for some reason the government in the book basically wants this box. Why? No idea why, and it will probably never get explained because the book had abruptly ended at issue 50. Also, I've got to bring this up. Why in the world was Green Arrow abruptly switched from coming out twice a month to once a month? And this all happened right after Sam Humphries ended his brief run in the book. Yeah, as far as I can tell, there's no explained reason for this at all. It's kind of the same thing with Nightwing, where this just abruptly had to come out once a month now. I have no idea why. Yeah, it's one of the most strangest things when it comes to DC Comics. They don't explain anything at all. I mean, yes, they're trying to do a new direction where they're trying to basically cut down on the books they publish. But aside from that, when it comes to these books, if you want to change some of your creative policies, here's one policy you should change. Have your editors stop interfering with the damn books. Okay? I know this has been a problem with DC Comics. It's a lot more big a problem in DC over the years than it has been at Marvel. Marvel has not been that big of a problem over there. DC, oh yes, it has. As a matter of fact, the first 2 years of New 52 had problems with editorial interference. Editor's job is supposed to be approving stuff. And, okay, an editor's job is not to decide the direction of a book. That is a writer's job, not the decision of the editor. I don't know what the heck DC wants to do with these two characters. Seriously. And also, who came with the decision to have Nightwing be shot in the head? Yeah, if I get a chance to meet Tom King, I'm gonna ask him about that. Yeah, because I think Dick Grayson getting shot in the head is interesting. Is a new thing for him because he's never shot in the head before. But why? And it's an okay idea, but the execution is terrible. I mean, having him basically go almost shaving his head bald, having a bat-shaped scar on the side of his head. Seriously? Why was it executed so terribly? I mean, you could have it where he's recovering, but not where he suffered through partial amnesia. This is a stupid idea for Dick Grayson. He does not need to suffer through amnesia at all. This is stupid. But give it that what you will. I am going to do a thoughts on Arrow ending in a separate. I'll probably do it as another episode for this series, probably a little bit later today. But yeah. Question mark for the tagline of this thing. What is going on with Green Arrow and Nightwing? Yep. Always, that's it for this particular video. I have several videos planned for today. A review of Case Closed Season 11, which that is going to happen today. Excuse me. A review of the newest episode of Ace Attorney, newest chapters of My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan, and hopefully another open topics later on today, where I'll discuss my thoughts on the ending of Arrow, the TV show. Yep. But until I see you next video, bye.